Hi y'all, this is so blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? As the title says, this video is about knowing your worth. Okay, this video title comes about because of a conversation that my husband and I just had with a couple. This couple live together. They are not married. They live together. And my husband was just talking to them, well, really talking to the man, directing this towards the man, and just saying, man, you know what is right. And, you need to marry this woman. She's moved from the north down to the south here to be with you. She's, sacrificed certain things. It's evident that she loves you. You need to do the right thing by her. And the guy, he's all evasive. He's trying to change the subject, and he's trying to avoid this conversation about marriage. And my husband's telling him, you brought up in a Christian home, you know what God's word says about marriage. You know that marriage is honorable. God does not honor this living together. But she's just sitting there listening and kind of smiling, laughing, and kind of like egging my husband on, like, yeah, tell him, yeah. And she's like, making little sounds. This is very interesting. We're gonna have a good conversation, when y'all leave, etc. And we said something. My husband said something about her, she's not just a girlfriend or whatever, and he some kind of way intimated that she wasn't even his girlfriend. And she said once she had said something about being his girlfriend, and there was a problem with that. So she doesn't even know, and he's, like I said, he's being evasive, like, why does gotta be a title? Why we gotta have a title with this? We doing all right where we are, etc. And so I was like, so she doesn't even know if she's the girlfriend. She doesn't even know if she's the fiance. Well, she knows she's not a fiance. He didn't propose to her, but it's like she has no title. She's not a girlfriend. She's not a fiance. She's a female friend that lives with him. I mean, what is that? A female friend? And I'm just gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna give it to you raw, how I said it. I said, okay, I'm going to use Dick and Jane. That's their names, Dick and Jane. This is what I told Jane. Well, actually, I told both Dick and Jane. I said, Dick, I don't mean no harm. Jane, I don't mean no harm by this. But I've got to say it. Jane, there is no way on God's green earth that I would live with now Negro. And I said, I don't care if he's white, black, Hispanic. I'm just calling him a Negro. I would not live with now Negro that cannot even acknowledge me as his girlfriend, less more his fiance, or consider me for the possibility of being his wife one day. No, me being saved, Holy Spirit filled, no, I wouldn't live with a guy out of wedlock anyway, because I know that is not of God. But I'm just talking about, when I was out there in the world, and I'm talking about in her position. I would not live with man Negro that couldn't even call me his girlfriend. You sharing your body with him, you sharing your money with him, you going through ups and downs with him, you are sacrificing for him. You change states, you change living conditions, you down with him, and you don't even have a title. You can't. There's a problem with even being called girlfriend. I said, I don't mean any harm. Because I didn't want her to feel, condescended to, or that I was judging her. But I was just letting her know there is no way I would be living with a man who had a problem even calling me girlfriend. I'm his lady friend who lives with him, or we live together. Nah. Know your worth. Know your worth. You are worth. they were discussing. They were like, "Well, how long y'all dated before y'all got married?" And we were like, "What do you mean, like dated?" Depends on what you mean, because see, my husband and I, we met each other 26 years ago, and that's when we dated. When we were in our 20s, that's when we dated. But now, fast forward 20 years later, my husband, he was locked up and they wouldn't let him out. So when they let him out, then we dated for 3 months. 3 months before we got married. Yeah, because I told Jane, he knew what he had, and he knew that there were others standing in line. So if he didn't want to miss out on his good thing, I knew my worth. Evidently, my husband knew my worth, and he knew I was his good thing. This is not just for the ladies. Men, know your worth. Don't let a woman just use you. Don't let her just use your credit card, your debit card. Use you for her bling bling, for the next pair, for her hair weave, for the next pair of shoes, for some Louis Boutons, what are they, Louis Boutons, whatever they are. You know, I don't know. They don't make size 13s. But no, men and women, know your worth. Don't let anybody use you. Don't let anybody use your body. But you don't mean anything. I won't say you don't mean anything to them, because I know you mean something to them. I know you mean something to them. But what I'm saying is, you're not getting out the deal what you want. Ladies, if you are with a man and you want to be married to that man or to a man, don't just settle. Don't just settle with whatever he hands you. No, you know your worth. And he better recognize your worth. He better recognize, if I don't scoop this woman up, somebody else will. Because this is a good thing. You better know you a good thing. And he better recognize you a good thing. Men, if she don't recognize that you're a good guy, if she doesn't recognize, you know, women always talking about, oh, ain't no good men out there. There are some good men out there. Contrary to what may be popularly believed by a lot of women, there are some good men out there. And if you are one of those good men, but that woman can't recognize it, don't fawn after her. Don't fall after her. Don't run after her. If she only calls you because when she wants something, no, she ain't recognizing that good thing in you. She's not recognizing your worth. You're not recognizing your worth. But if you don't recognize your own worth, how can somebody else recognize your worth? Jane, she ain't recognizing her worth. So how Dick gonna recognize it? But when you know your worth, when you know what, I'm a good thing. And you better recognize, because if you don't do what you gotta do, you don't step up, somebody else will. And ladies, let me tell you this. You might not believe it. You might not believe this, but I'm telling you something good. So lean in, turn up your volume, listen closely. A man who looks at you and recognizes your worth, he knows right then that you are the one. He knows that you're the one that he wants in his life for the rest of his life. He knows that you're the one that he wants to marry. He knows that you're the one that he wants to put the ring on. I'm telling you. Actions speak louder than words. A man or a woman can tell you anything. Baby, I love you. You're the only one for me. We in this thing together. Now, where is the action? The action is the ring, the commitment, the nuptials. at the very least a title. You my girlfriend, you my woman, lady friend, man friend. Nah. When a woman recognizes your worth, you know what she say? This my man here. That's what I call my man. My man. Sometimes I call him my baby. But that's my man because I recognize the worth in him. When a man recognizes the worth in you women, when he's not leaving you out there for the wolves. He's not leaving you out there for another man to take. He's not leaving you out there for another man to put the ring on. Which finger? Oh yeah, that finger right there. He ain't waiting. He see that good thing. He recognized that good thing. He recognized your worth. And he wants to be with you for the rest of his life. He's visualizing y'all rocking in a rocking chair together. Women, I'm telling you, you better recognize, you better know that a man who really wants you, he does not wait 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 years to recognize that good thing, to know that worth in you. He does not. I'm telling you, he does not. Now, it's different when you're talking about, I'm not talking about 20-year-olds. I'm not talking about kids who are just out of high school or you just into college. No, when you're out of high school and you're getting into college, this is time to live your life. This isn't time to date. This is time to experience different people. I don't mean sexually. I just mean getting to know different people, knowing what you want in a man, what you want in a woman, what you want in a husband, what you want in a wife. No, I'm not talking about people in their early 20s. But by the time you hit your 30s, especially your early 30s, your mid 30s, your 40s, that's when you have come to know your worth, or maybe you should have come to know your worth, and that's where the other person should be able to recognize the worth in you, and they should be like, oh no, that's what I want right there. I'm not going to leave him or leave her out there for somebody else to take. As good as my husband treats me, I can't imagine him treating some other woman the way he treats me. Come on, ladies. Come on, men. And especially my women. Know your worth. Recognize your worth. And don't take nothing less. Don't take nothing less. You deserve exactly what you want. And if you're not getting it, don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle. You know, there are compromises. You know, there are compromises made. To be honest, I didn't want a man who had been in prison. I did not. I'm a good girl. I'm a law-abiding citizen. There are certain compromises you make, yes. But when I mean settle for somebody who's treat you less than, somebody who does not recognize your worth, that's what I mean by don't settle. Don't settle for somebody who doesn't recognize that you deserve to be a wife. Alright? I love y'all. Y'all be blessed.